Hi guys, so today I'm going to show you how to play the CAGED system. If you haven't heard of it, it's a system of chords, 5 chords, using the C, A, G, E and D shapes. Now you already know these shapes if you know how to play the open chords, because they're named after the chords that you get when you play them in the open position. All we're going to be doing is moving them up the fretboard and barring them. So rather than just moving up with a capo, we're going to be making them into bar chords. And they're really useful to know because you can then play the same chord in 5 different inversions and in different positions up the neck. And that can be really useful if you're playing in different styles, because you can choose each chord for each song. You're not stuck with the same sound, you can get something different out of it. And you can also incorporate it into your scales and your lead playing. If you've got a good understanding of where these major chords are across the fretboard, chances are you're going to be able to use that in your improvising. And you're going to be able to land on those notes as safe notes. So I'll get straight to it. It's only 5 chords, it's really simple, but I think it's really important you know, and it will really help you find your way across the fretboard. Okay, so here's the first shape. Here's the C-shaped chord. This is how you know it in the open position. The root of that chord is on the 5th string. So C is here. I'm going to move this chord up to play a D major chord using this exact same shape. There's D on the 5th string. Now I lied a little bit, I'm not going to do the exact same shape because the nut hasn't moved up with me and I don't have a capo, so I'm going to have to bar here. So rather than playing it like this, I'm going to use my 2nd, 3rd and 4th fingers and I'm going to bar up to the 5th fret. So hopefully you understand how that works. You've got your root here, your 3rd, your 5th, your root and your 3rd again. If I slide that back down, you'll see that C shape. Cool, so that's the first shape. Second shape I'm going to teach you is the A shape. It's a little bit easier. You might already know this shape. It's the standard. It's like a power chord almost. Here's A. The root here is also on the 5th string. That being A. So if I want to play a B chord, A sharp, B. I'm going to move that up and place my finger there and bar here, acting like a capo again. That's that one. The next shape is the G shape. This one's probably the most difficult one. That and the D are the most difficult. G there, no problem. Instead though, we're going to play it like this. So, 2nd finger on the 2nd fret of the 5th string, that was difficult to say. 3rd finger on the 3rd fret of the 6th string. And you're going to just use your pinky on the top rather than doing both strings. We're just going to do the top one. And again, if you can imagine, this is a G here. On the 6th string is your root. You should recognise this shape here as your 3rd, so you know your 3rd is here. So that's my root on the 6th string. If I want to play an A, you can guess what I'm going to do. G, G sharp, A. I'm going to move up. And I'm going to bar here. You can see an ugly chord. I don't often use this. Actually, I never use this in my playing, but it's useful to know if you want to move up using the CAGED system in order to find all the chords. Okay, the next one you should be really familiar with if you know how to play F, because F really is always a bar chord unless you play it like so. That's not called an F-shaped chord, that is called an E-shaped chord, because if you slide it down, there's your E. You should be able to guess where the root of this chord is. If that's an E, you know you're tuning E again on the 6th string. So I know that's F, F sharp, G. Cool. The final chord is a D-shaped, and you should be able to guess where this is going. when you play D, you only play from the 4th string, because that's a D. So, I know my roots here. If I want to play an E, I'm going to move up D, D sharp, E. So it's moved up 2, and I know that shape's going to move up 2. But I have to do a bar, and I'm going to play the D with these fingers here. So now you know all the shapes, you should be able to find the same chord 5 times using these different shapes. I'll zoom back out again and show you. So now if you know where all the root notes are, and you know the notes on the fretboard, you should be able to find the same major chord 5 times using each shape. And you'll play them in order up the fretboard, spelling CAGED. I'll show you D major, for example. Here's D using the C shape. Here's D using the A shape. Here might be D using the G shape, but I cannot use this chord. D using the E shape. And then D using the D shape. Okay, so that's it on the major CAGED system. If you've got any questions, leave me a comment below, or you can find me on Facebook. I'll put the link in the description for you. And I'll see you next lesson. Thank you.